Travis Wingoodell. Alright, so signs in the heavens in the likeness of things on the earth for Passover. Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Mother, the blood. Overcoming the dragon, old serpent, devil, Satan. Verse 9. So, verses 1 and 2 with 5, we read, And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. So the Catholic Church, in order to approve of this being put into what they called the New Testament, had to interpret this as the birth of Jesus. In 1 CE, 25th December. And so these are not to be taken literally. It's not really the sun. It's not really the moon. It's not really the stars. It's just the birth of Jesus in the manger, according to the literal history Gospels. And so when you go to Matthew, you get the real truth about what's going on in Revelation chapter 12. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Where is he that is born King of the Jews? King of the Jews. And so when you go back up into chapter 1, now all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, what prophet? Who? Who said this? Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel. So there you go. Revelation chapter 12. They just made it dramatic with signs in the heavens. But that's what it means. Literal history. Jesus, born in the Roman period time, under Herod the Great, who died in 4 CE. BCE. BCE. Well, we'll just have to ignore science. Right? Because that's what Christians do. They have to ignore science in order to turn the first creed of Christianity, the Nicene Creed, into true. It is not literal history. That's obvious. It is violating science. It is violating history. And so, the scriptures talk a lot about the science of agronomy in regards to turning your faith into knowledge, to know and therefore judge other people by their fruits. Seed is the word. Fruits are the consequences of the word when manifested in the flesh. And so, everybody knows that you have a seed. Is it a true seed or is it a false seed? Well, you got to plant it. Plant it in the ground. You nurture it, you care for it, water it, give it sunlight, whatever kind of seed it is. And over time, it'll sprout. Hey, it's growing, it's alive. It's true. but you don't know if it's going to produce the fruit. You don't know if it's going to produce the right fruit. Somebody could be selling you beans. And so you wait until it grows up. The trunk begins to develop. It starts to branch, starts to leaf, starts to blossom, and there's the fruit. And so you pluck a fruit, you eat it. Hey, this is good. I'm going to give one to my teacher. That was for you, Idaho Chick. And a special tribute for Sister Welsh from last night's church news. And so you know that that seed is true. But when you're running a scientific test, you need 3 tests that are different to confirm fact. You only ran one test and it produced the results. You know that the seed is true for that one fruit, a tree of fruit. And so you'll notice that inside the fruit there are more seed. You can run another test. And so you do. You plant it. Dum, bum, ding. Done. There it is. Test number 2 confirmed. Oh, look, more seed. Plant it. Yep, sure enough. You have now run the test 3 times, 3 different ways, and produced the truth for confirmation. You have now established a fact. And so, yeah, lots of plants have been around for many millennia. It's an established law. Because every time you do it, you confirm the results. And it's been well more than 3. You've now established universal law of physics, the science of agronomy, also called the vegetation theory. It's technically the vegetation law now. So there's no need to destroy that and replace it with something else. You know, like the theory of evolution. We already know it's crap because we've already established the law of vegetation. Get that evolutionary crap out of here. We've run the test. It's been run many millennia. Established law of vegetation. Likewise, for astronomy, it is a law, a universal law. Established truth. There is nothing, like a Big Bang theory that would ruin it. Get that out of here. Catholic priest. God trying to prove that Constantine is correct by creatio ex nihilo. Pfft, get out of here. Astronomy, the universal law. It's been run over and over again, and every time, boom. This, in Revelation chapter 12, by the Jewish author, not a Christian author, which Matthew likewise was a Jewish author, not a Christian author, are giving you the day and the hour of the coming of their Jewish Christ. It is established. I myself, as all of you can know, if you check my most popular video is the 23rd of September 2017. Sure enough, verse 5 needs to be moved to verse 3, as I would come to find out after Monson died. Which is verse 4. Established fact, if not law. Because it goes all the way back to the Egyptians. Many millennia back. The pyramid text, as the oldest document of the Egyptians, was referring to knowledge that was common at that time, which means it existed for a long time to become traditional general knowledge in the pyramid text, the oldest document. And so that's why it's blatantly obvious that this is a sign in the heavens. Woman clothed with the sun, Virgo, moon under her feet, and upon her head 3 additional planets in the 9 stars designating Leo the lion, and Jupiter in her womb with Saturn in Ophiuchus. 23rd September 2017. Anybody else who thinks they've got it all figured out and it's a different date are wrong, and you can check them. Look at their picture. Match all of those with their picture. Wrong. It is only the 23rd of September 2017 in our calendar system. It had never happened before. It will never happen again. This is a once in a existence event. As seen from Earth. You need to know science if you're going to study your scriptures. So yes, Isaiah and Matthew, yep, same date. Mormons. Guess who's next? Mormons. First Nephi, chapter 1, verse 4. For it came to pass in the commencement of the first year. Wonder what year this could be. I wonder if we should use Christian interpretation to turn this into literal history of a chronological order, just like the Christians did to the Jewish scriptures. I'm sure that wouldn't be all wrong, abominable, and corrupt. 8 through 10. Being thus overcome with the Spirit, he was carried away in a vision, even that he saw the heavens open, and he thought he saw God sitting upon his throne. I recognize that from somewhere. Where do I remember hearing about that? It came to pass that he saw one descending out of the midst of heaven, and his luster was above that of the sun at noonday. And he saw 12 others following him. Yep, bingo, 23rd September 2017 to start the Book of Mormon. Remember, this was the rewritten 116 pages. And so, the sun god at noonday, I wonder who that Egyptian deity, Amun, the sun god at noonday, could be. Emmanuel, He comes and gives Lehi a book that warns of the destruction of Jerusalem. 23rd September 2017. A month after the first day of darkness, for the death of the kingdom and king, which we don't have a theocracy in the United States of America, and so, oh no, the religion 2. 21st of August, 2017. Oh, it was right there at the King Star of Leo, Regulus. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. We'll just say that it was Herod who would then die. We'll just make things up because it's faith promoting. Screw science. What do they know? Universal truth. So, yes, being held in bondage to Babylon, the great and abominable church, these religious Jews. And so, does this sound familiar, Mormons? It should if they put the footnote in the footnotes below. They didn't. Because it's an exact same pattern match for some guy named Joseph Smith Jr. who had a second vision. Whoops, I want to go to 30. While I was thus in the act of calling upon God, I discovered a light appearing in my room, which continued to increase until the room was lighter than at noonday, when immediately a personage, lighter than at noonday, appeared at my bedside, wearing the white shirt from this morning and last night, or yesterday, at the bedside, giving you a warning as a vision from a dream he had yesterday morning. Standing above the air, because his feet were on the chair stools. And he wasn't wearing underwear. He's naked. His countenance was truly like Jupiter. Lightning, symbol of Jupiter. I never did hear any lightning strikes yesterday, Elena Brophy. Never did. Never did. So he called Joseph Smith by name and said unto him that he was a Malachi sent from the presence of God to him, and that his name was Nephi, that God had a work for him to do, that his name should be had for good and evil among all Mormons. That it should be both evil and good spoken of among all Mormons. And, oh no, he said there was a book. Deposited, written upon gold plates. This is a vision. You don't have to change it to be faith promoting. Trust Joseph. It's a vision. It's not literal history. And so, giving an account of the former inhabitants. Does it when it starts in 23rd September 2017. And that there were 2 stones in silver bows. And these stones, fastened to a breastplate, constituted what is called the Urim and Thummim. Lights and perfections or completions. Like fruit from a seed, huh? Deposited with the plates. And that sword of Laban, too. For Hart, who is in charge of the treasury, who told Nephi, "You are a thief. You have robbed God, and I shall slay thee." Oops, false accuser. Laban gets to die instead. Hey, just like that Abinadi was falsely accused, locked up, and then burned. And they even tell you, "In so manner as you murder me, you will be murdered." So, yep, King Noah burned, just like Abinadi. The law of Purim. I didn't cover that, did I? Did I tell you that verse 11 in Revelation was from Passover? But, so, is this warning to Joseph Smith? Yep, sure is. Read from Malachi. "For the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. They that come shall burn them, though, who are posing as Christians, blaming Jesus for it, when they are the ones doing it." So then in verse 40, he reveals that he's actually the Christ, Messiah ben David. Well, wait a minute. Jesus is Messiah ben David. Can't have two. And so, precisely as it stands in our New Testament. And then quotes from Joel, "Sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven." So let me go back and check Revelation. Did I go to Joseph Smith history too soon? Yeah, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Passover. I think I covered that, didn't I? I did in my mind before I did the videos, so that's why I'm confused. So there you go, we did it. Oh look, there's a Joseph Smith translation for this passage. I wonder what it does. "And there appeared a great sign in heaven, in the likeness of things on the earth." Oh, and verse 5 got moved to verse 3. I guess they knew. Yep, because it was the one Doctrine and Covenants passage where Joseph throws in, "No man knows the day or the hour, but look for the signs in the heavens." This was before he did Revelation 12 with Daddy's help. And so, yeah, he then finds out with section 45 at least. He now knows because he doesn't put that in there. And thus why Nephi's dream vision of the tree of life refers to the iron rod, the word of God, likened unto a seed, gets to the tree of life with fruit. Learning of the Jews. Technically Jewish Kabbalah, but who's counting? And so this is a pattern that can be tested. Run the test. So I've done that. I've run the test. I've done the videos for you. Did the Jewish Christ appear on the 23rd of September 2017? Sure did. Who could he be now? Who could it be knocking at the church doors? Go away! We don't want your kind no more. We've got Jesus and he's gonna burn. He's flaming Mo. That's how you've got to learn. Okay, we gotta work on that. So yeah, I've confirmed this multiple times. The curse of Joseph Smith is established fact. This church ain't true because of how they've died as presidents of the great and abominable church. Jesus. And so, as I'm still trying to catch up, I wrote down the immediate pictures for close-ups. I've got the whole month. I just have to relabel it. And so you have today the conjunction of the moon and the Pleiades, not Pilates. I duplicated it. Already had it up. And so, yeah, it's in Taurus, because it's going to be with Jupiter tomorrow, who's on the head of Taurus. So we'll cover that one for you too tomorrow to continue on. But this video is just to give you the prerequisite video knowledge of signs in the heavens and the likeness of things on the earth, so that you understand. I probably should have looked up Pilates. Wikipedia has had their pictures down. It could just be a cyber terrorist attack on me only. If any of you want to check that to see if you too are denied picture access. I noticed yesterday with Nauvoo, they showed a picture of the Nauvoo temple, but when I went to Nauvoo temple page, they didn't show the temple picture. And yeah, they're not showing the picture for the Pilates. And so we want to go to mythology. The Pleiades are a prominent sight in winter in the northern hemisphere and are easily visible from mid-southern latitudes. They have been known since antiquity to cultures around the world, including the Celts, the Irish, pre-colonial Filipinos. Get back to Babylon. What the hell? Here we go. Persians, Arabs. You should have done Arabs first before the Persians. Hindus. That's closer. The Pleiades are also mentioned 3 times in the Bible. You don't tell us. Oh, there they are. Job 9:9, 38:31, and Amos 5:8. 5:8. So we'll do a pause before we get to the Babylonian one, which is what I wanted. Alright, Job. And 9. Let's see. Which he... Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 of 1,000. He is wise in heart, mighty in strength, who hath hardened himself against him and hath prospered, which removeth the mountains, and they know not, which overturneth them in his anger, which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble, which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars, which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea, which maketh Arcticus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south, which doth great things past finding out, yea, and wonders without number. 38. I could check the Hebrew, see what they say. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion, the three wise men? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? And then Amos 5. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is thy name. So I'm guessing the 7 stars are Pleiades. Yeah, that's, they put IE. So the Pleiades actually have multi-billions, but they designate it with 7. Oh, look, there's the house of God in verse 6. Fascinating. And it's associated with the house of Joseph, thus Messiah ben Joseph, and the house of God. 2 Nephi chapter 3, which is Joseph Smith Jr. Alright, and then we have... See, now this, they have Galileo's drawing of the Pleiades star cluster. Have that picture. So why don't they have the Pleiades themselves? Is this cyberterrorism? What's going on? What's going on? The earliest known depiction of the Pleiades is likely a northern German Bronze Age artifact known as the Nebra Sky disk, dated to approximately 1600 BCE. The Babylonian star catalogs names the Pleiades. If they name them, it's a depiction. So the German Bronze Age is not the oldest. Pretty sure. It's just, you're not cooperating. Okay, yeah, it's before the, yeah, okay, it's before Babylon. You get a pass on that one. It's not older than the Jews. Let's see, literally means star. Stars. Who did this? 3 are designated, thus plural, stars. And it's repeated, therefore, stars is the literal interpretation. Or stars of stars. And they head the list of stars. I mean, I have to correct Babylonian for you guys. Dear God. They had the list of stars along the ecliptic, reflecting the fact that they were close to the point of the vernal equinox around the 23rd century BCE. The ancient Egyptians may have viewed... Oh, dear God, don't say may. The one thing to say to expose yourself is not a legitimate scientist in the field. Right, Sister Welsh? Ancient Egyptians may have used the names followers and Enid in prognosis text of the calendar of lucky and unlucky days. Oh my hell. Babylon created unlucky day, therefore it's not the Egyptians. Who did this? Some Greek astronomers considered them to be a distinct constellation. And they are mentioned in Hesiod's works and days, Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, and the Geoponica. And so, yeah, obviously Arabs are just going to call it star and remove the plural. That's what they did to L. They added a plural. Reverse Constantine. You're not giving me the mythology, though. Oh, yes, let's refer to Tolkien, because that's literal history. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So, yeah, only the one picture. Here we've got another picture that shows. Here we've got a GIF. That's cool. Proper motion in 400,000 years. Wow. That is cool. I'm hypnotized. I want this picture on my wall. Fascinating. See, this is all based on astronomy. Fascinating. It's like a bunch of little microscopic bugs. But that picture doesn't show the map of Pleiades. Dear God. Age and future evolution. Remove evolution from your vocabulary. So I was hoping for how they interpreted it, and all I can see is star. Stars of stars, King of kings, Lord of lords, Great High Priest. Alright. They didn't even show the P-L, and it's questionable as to whether any of the vowels count, and the D. So you've got the altar table, L is the G in Paleo-Hebrew, so it's the male phallus, and then the D is the pyramid, so capstone. Okay, so the man-child of the offering, the sacrifice, the lamb, the Pleiades, thus Taurus. So yeah, that makes sense, because Taurus is the transfer of authority from the dead king to his son, the prince, to become the king. That makes sense. Alrighty, so there's a little Greek for you too. But yeah, we're doing a basic sign in the heavens and likeness of things on the earth. So that's it. That's it. We covered it. So yeah, Law of Purim was involved with the Curse of Joseph Smith. But that's how I ran the test to confirm Joseph Smith translation, Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. Is it? Prove it. So yes, I noticed a lot of stuff that came to pass as I ran the test, and I've been doing the videos for you this whole time. So there you go. It's that simple. So when the Book of Mormon tells you a date, you better believe them, especially when it tells you the definition of revelation in Mormon chapter 8, verse 33. Speaking of the Book of Mormon, behold, look ye unto the revelations of God. For behold, the time cometh, at that day, when all these things must be fulfilled. Words must be fulfilled. Seed, fruit. Words of a prophet are a prediction of the future. They need to give you the day and time of when those predictions are going to come to pass. And therefore, produce the fruit. See what it gives you. And then you can judge it as either a true prophet or a false prophet. So, because the prophets, self-titled, of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, don't even dare enter into this realm of science, automatic false. We don't need to run a test. They don't provide you with any words for it, other than, we will not do it. But we're a prophet, believe us and pay us, or you're going to burn. They're a false prophet. They're stealing. Unless they're going to murder you and destroy you in a coming day. So says Sister Welsh. And so, yeah, for Passover, yeah, all the Jews are talking about Passover. And here we are, Passover. We're into the millennium. Latter days are over. The third and final day of darkness happened last year. We're done. We're ready for Zion. Mormons don't want to go. They don't believe. They don't want to run the test. So they will never know. And so they'll go to the terrestrial or the telestial kingdom and stay here in Utah and get burned. Yeah, burned.